Now, this discussion is all about going solo and entrepreneurs. So perhaps you've taken some time off from work to go and have your baby, or to do some caring, or for illness or something like that. And perhaps going back to work is just not an option for you. You want to try something different. Perhaps you want to strike out on your own and perhaps create your own business, or go into a franchise. We've got the perfect panel of people to talk to you about how to do exactly that. And I'd like to welcome to the stage, we have Kathleen Mitchell from Stella and Dot, Nina Losden from The Creation Station, Karen Batch from Cali Kids, Jenny Garrett, who's the author of Rocking Your Roll, and Steve Gobby, who works for Tropic Natural Skincare and Mineral Makeup. So 5 really great experts to talk a little bit about how to go out there on your own. And now to Jenny Garrett. Now, it's slightly different with you because you're a coach and you're an author and also a speaker as well. What are the benefits for mothers or fathers who are kind of returning to the work arena, but perhaps in a different way? So they're taking on a new business, or they're becoming a franchisee. What can that do for people?
That's a good question. I think it's really interesting to think about what you want from it. So almost it can do whatever you want it to do for you. I think I've got a story that I want to share, actually, that I think might sort of illuminate it a bit and help you think about that journey to being an entrepreneur. Who here already runs their own business? Okay, so it's quite a small percentage, and the rest of you thinking about it? Yeah. So we're in sort of in different positions. And who, on New Year's, did anyone go into London to see the fireworks? No one. Did anyone watch it from the TV? Yes, yeah. Well, when we were thinking about New Year in my family, we sort of asked my daughter, what do you want to do? And she said, I think let's have a party, because sometimes we have parties. And then she said, I want to go and see the fireworks in central London. And we'd never done that as a family before. She's 12. And I thought, well, she's old enough, actually. Yeah, let's try it this year. It'll be an experience. I went onto the internet and took Boris's advice, get there really early, because a lot of train stations close, be prepared for a long wait, wear comfortable shoes, all of those sorts of things. Planned our route and where we might park, because we don't live in London, so it was a little bit of a trek. And then on the day, a friend of mine visited us, and she said she wanted to come along. So I said, yeah, okay, if you want to come, and she had a daughter as well, come join us. So we went into London, probably got there about 5 o'clock, managed to park and settle down. And then my friend who'd come along with her daughter said, 7 more hours to go. This is going to be a long haul. And I sensed there was going to be an issue, really, that she hadn't really thought about what she was getting herself into. Anyway, as it progressed, the crowds got bigger. You get closer, you find yourself more cramped. We had a really good spot, so it was fantastic. We knew when the fireworks did go off, it was going to be really amazing for us. And then I needed to go to the loo. Now, that's a major problem if anyone's ever gone to the fireworks in central London, because I had to basically fight through the crowds, get to this portaloo, wait 45 minutes, get out. And the worst thing was getting out and seeing that the whole crowd was so much more dense than when I'd left it, and thinking, I'm not going to make it back to my family. Oh, this is a real problem. I actually fought my way through saying, my daughter's over there, please let me through, I need to see her, I don't want to leave my family. And they did let me through, and I got back to her. My friends and my family were there, and the friend who had come along with her daughter then said, I think we need to go. And I just said, if you go, you're going to be gone, you're not going to get back. It was real hard for me to get back, but it's even worse now. So I sort of gave them a hug, said Happy New Year, I might not see you again, and kind of waved bye-bye to them. And sure enough, they rang and said, we're not going to get back through the crowd, but we'll wait for you and we'll leave together. Now we waited, and it got to about 11 o'clock in the evening, and we all kind of started feeling, this has been a long time. It's a bit exhausting. You started to have some doubts. Are the fireworks going to be that good? Are they really worth waiting this long for? This is cold. I'm with a group of strangers. Is this going to be all right? But we tried to keep ourselves going and sort of buoyant, and had some mulled wine and sort of chatted to each other. And we kept going, looked at the clock, knew it was going to be there, and at midnight the fireworks went off, and they were amazing. And they were beautiful, and they were everything we dreamed of and more. And actually being with a group of strangers was fantastic, because we all felt like best friends, and we hugged people we'd never met before, and we felt like all was well in the world. And I think for me, that is what the journey of being an entrepreneur is like. It's hard in the beginning. You need to do your research. You need to get there and be there and know that you're going to have to persevere and keep going. And at the 11th hour, just before you're getting to success, I think that's when you have your biggest doubts and almost feel like turning around and walking away. But that's the time when you've got to stick with it. And for me, the rewards are huge. For me, the rewards of running my own business are that I am in control of my diary. I never have to ask if I want to take time off. The rewards are doing that. I'm doing exactly the work I love and I believe I'm here to do, and that was always meant to do. And for me, it's the outcome is what I aim for, not what someone else has designed for me. But during that process, sometimes you might have to wave bye-bye to friends. You know, you might have to wave bye-bye to people who are not on the same wavelength as you, and you might have to get sore feet. But if you persevere, it's worth it. And then you go away and you do the same thing the next day. You know, you go away and you have to keep persevering and doing it. So the benefits are, the fireworks are amazing. That's what I'd say.
What are the obstacles that you've faced along the way then, as you've kind of gone through the journey of your career?
Yeah, for me, the journey in terms of my career has been that I haven't come from a long line of entrepreneurs. I'm the first person in my family to do this sort of thing, and so I had a lot of doubts. You know, I had a lot of people saying, "Do you know what you're doing? Is this coaching lark a bit of a fad? You know, how is where's the income going to come from?" And I'm the main earner in my home, so it really doesn't matter. When I started my business, at the same time, my husband, who had been an accountant, decided to work with disaffected young people. Very admirable and great work, but it meant that my salary went up and his salary decreased. So there were a couple of things. I needed to make it work. I needed to bring an income. I instantly had that responsibility, but also just managing that dynamic in my family of being the main earner and what that meant for our relationship. In addition, sometimes I felt guilty. I knew I wasn't the yummy mummy in the playground picking up my daughter. I wasn't there every day. And I did have to struggle with understanding if that was the right thing to do, and perhaps the looks in the playground or not being as networked in the playground as I might be with other mums. So those are some of the things that I've had to come with. And she's laughing about being networked in the playground, are you? But it's quite important, actually. And yeah, no. Oh, I see. No, you don't have to be sorry, but I think it's quite an interesting thing that people bring, that actually if you're not in the playground, sometimes your children miss out on parties or and that sort of thing.
The social side.
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
being visible. Yeah. What about some of your successes then, and your three different you wear lots of hats, I suppose, with what you do.
Yeah.
How about some of the successes that you've experienced?
I think although I maybe wear lots of hats, the mission is really all the same, and it's about supporting working women in all aspects of their life. You know, it's about helping women who might feel stuck. It's about helping women who maybe have fear to take the next step. It's about helping women be confident. So essentially, whether I'm speaking, whether I'm coaching, whether I'm delivering a workshop, it's about how do I lead myself to success. And in terms of success, I thought about this particular, thinking about you as maybe business owners or potential business owners. I've got a client who's in Denmark. She's actually an Irish woman who moved to Denmark because her husband moved there, so she followed him for work, and she found there was no work she could get employed in Denmark. So what she had to do was start her own business, and she started a marketing business with no idea how to do that. And we worked together over 5 months for her to get her first clients. for her to develop her business idea. And now she's actually doing something really interesting with her clients in Denmark. She's helping them write business English for their websites. So she found the thing that she could do to help other people in an area where she was never going to be employed, and she found how she could be really useful. And just watching her get her first clients, watching her make calls when she didn't feel confident to do that, and walking alongside her on that journey has been amazing. And another one, again, on a really small scale, because I think when we talk about business, sometimes it's huge £1 million businesses, but the small things are just as significant. And I have a client who's part-time in her role and designs handmade cards. And we were working together, and she was thinking about outlets and what she could do to take her business forward. And she'd have her Fridays when she was supposed to be developing her business, but she didn't really know what to do or how to do it. And now she has a stall every Friday at Spitalfields where she's designing her cards, she's selling her cards. Her cards going all over the world because it's an international audience. And her business has grown so much as a result. So it's just helping people to just move, just to take that step out of your comfort zone and see where it takes you. And it does reap rewards. So those are a couple of things that I think real successes.
Great stuff. How about finally advice for people who are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur or starting their own business?
Yeah. So for me, there are 3 Ps. Know what you're passionate about, and make that passion your purpose. I love the way you described it as soulful work. You need to be passionate about it, and it needs to be your purpose. It needs to be the thing that you live for and that you really care about. You're going to put so much effort into this. You're going to work long hours and really work hard. So it needs to be something that you're so connected to. And lastly, make that passion your profession. So move it from passion to purpose to profession. And the last, an extra P, an extra one just for luck, is persevere. Just keep going.
Thank you. Really inspirational. Any questions for Jenny from the audience?